Are you feeling the crush of inflation and Bidenomics this Christmas? More American men are feeling pinched because of already stressed pocketbooks and now the addition of Christmas spending. So how can they cope, reduce the stress, still feel they're doing right for their kids and families? Well, here with us is Katrina McKinney. She's Men's Health Network educator and spokesperson. So, Katrina, it's good to talk with you. It seems like many families, especially men, as the head of their households, are feeling stressed. So what's happening and what are you seeing this year compared to last year, last Christmas?
Well, I think we're still seeing the effects from the pandemic. When everything was shut down with COVID, we saw such an increase with jobs being cut back. We saw that some companies were moving overseas, and we just saw so much happening with our economy. And so families haven't had a chance to catch up from everything that happened from COVID. And even now, we're still seeing where some companies are doing cutting back on jobs. They're reassigning, and when they do that, sometimes you end up with more work because your coworkers are not there anymore. So what we're trying to see now is that stress is when your body and your brain is trying to react to a situation, and we all have had an excessive amount of stress over the past couple of years. But what we're wanting to encourage our men to do, especially during this holiday season, is to just ask yourself, how is this stress impacting my daily life, and what can I really handle? So often there's been this myth and stigma that, men are supposed to be strong and men are not supposed to show their emotions. But what we've discovered at Men's Health Network is that men handle stress in a different way. And we have a really great resource on our website. It's called Understanding Your Head. It's an owner's manual to understanding and overcoming depression, anxiety, and stress. And we want to let our men know that we are here in the community and we're here to support you. Another thing that has happened with this holiday stress is not just the money. We hear about money, but along with those money problems also come additional problems, such as if you have a loved one that has a chronic disease and they don't have access to health care, or you can't pay for those medications, or if you have a loved one in your home and you're a caregiver for that person, maybe you have an older parent you're caring for, or a child that's autistic, that provides additional stress to men. And what we're wanting them to know that during this holiday season is you don't have to feel isolated, and you don't have to become angry, and you don't have to feel like you're alone, that there are ways to manage your stress. And that's just some of the things I want to share with today, is just some tips that we found that have been very helpful in helping men to manage their daily stress and to help them feel like they're more in control. But that's one of the big things about stress, is just feeling that lack of control.
Well, it's talking it out with other people calmly and also taking one day at a time. But I know many men right now feel if they don't get that perfect toy or perfect gift for their kids, then they've failed them. Why is that?
Yeah. Well, that's because in our society, we've put so much emphasis on external rewards, as we say, wanting to live in the perfect zip code, to have the right car, to live in the right house. So that's where your circle of influence becomes very important to you. The people that are in your circle have to sometimes advocate for you and help you to see and focus on the things that you do have versus the things that you don't have.
I always tell people get in a good church. If you're not in one, you can always talk to the
Oh,
pastor
yeah.
or other church leaders, deacons, others that you're close to.
Yeah,
Uh,
and that's on my list. Yeah, definitely reach out to your spiritual leader. And that's the thing, is everybody's spiritual walk is different, but you gotta build you a tribe. A lot of times we hear women talk about, well, I have a tribe or I have a squad. Well, that's one of the things we're advocating, is to help men understand you do not have to stand in this battle alone. There are people that see you beyond your paycheck and see you beyond what you provide. You are a whole person. You're a mind, body, soul, and spirit. And we want you to be well in all those areas. And so definitely reach out to your spiritual leaders, reach out to that confident, reach out to that close friend. And I even tell women, you have to advocate. I have two sons and I advocate for them all the time. And advocating for them is just letting them know you're more than your paycheck. You're more than what you provide. The fact that you are here in our lives and you're providing us with all your gifts and all the whole person that you are, those are things are just as important to us and more important to us than just the paycheck you bring home.
and stay positive and count your blessings, right?
Absolutely. I think the very first thing we have to do with anything, you got to acknowledge it. You may not be in the place where you were last holiday season. And you just have to be realistic and honest and then sit down and come up with a plan. One thing I know about men, they like to have a plan. If there's a problem, they want to solve it. So let's sit down and come up with a plan. Maybe you can't buy 5 gifts this year. Maybe ask your kids, okay, pick the 2 things that you really, really want this year, and then focus on trying to purchase one of those things. Another great thing is creating some new holiday traditions. Maybe you can't host a holiday party this year. How about we all get together and go see the lights in the community? Or let's go see the lighting of the Christmas tree, or let's go to a community event. It's all about creating what's going to fit your life in this season that you're in. All of us have ebbs and flows in our lives, and what worked in one season of your life may not work in this season of your life.
And I have found serving others does wonders. Okay,
Yes.
Katrina McKinney with the Men's Health Network, thank you so much for setting us straight today. We appreciate it.